So let us first start with the basic building block of Panini's entire scheme of things. This is called Maheshwara Sutras. So let us try to see what it is. The entire Sanskrit grammar of Panini actually rests on these fundamental 14 set of sutras known as Maheshwara Sutras. I have put it here as you see here. They are numbered 1 to 14. I-un is the first one. Rilrik is the second. Ye-o, I-ouch, Hayavarat, Lan, Nyamangananam, Jabhai, Gadadash, Jabagadadash, Kappa Chatata Chatatau, Kapai, Sashasar, Hal. So from number 1 to 14, he has used this basic fundamental set of sutras, because with this only the entire grammatical things are referred and all that kind of things are happening. So what we see, there are some interesting things that we see here. Each of the sutra listed above is actually an ordered set of letters. For example, look at here. When you say Hayavarat, what does it has? It has Ha, Ya, Va, Ra, Ta. So it's a set of ordered letters. Set 1 has A, I, U. The Na has to be removed. Consonant at the end of each of these has to be ignored actually. He has used it for some purpose, which we will see. So I-un means A, I, U. Now if you take set 10, Ja, Ba, Ga, Da, Da. Ish is actually, he has used it for just for purpose of easy pronunciation and for some other purposes. Now the first 4 sutras which I have color coded in yellow actually are the alphabets of the language. A, I, U, R, R, E, O, I, O. Those are the vowels actually. Then you have sutras 5 to 14 which has the consonants. In all languages, Indian languages have these vowels and consonants. So, but there is something very interesting here as we see here. For example, Hal. If you take Hal, it ends with Il. Il is a consonant actually. First sutra, A, I, U ends with In, I-un. 13th sutra, Sasha Sar ends with Ir actually, right? So they are considered merely as a termination tag. So we should not include it into any of our calculations that is required. It is more a termination tag. Second observation we find, let's take Kavarga. See, in all languages we say Ka, Ka, Ga, Ga, Nga. Now you find here that Ka, Ka, Ga, Ga, Nga is distributed all over the place. In Sutra 7 you have Nga. In Sutra 9 you have Ga. In Sutra 10 you have Ga. And in Sutra 11 you have Ka. And in Sutra 12 you have Ka. Like that, the other groups are also actually distributed, scattered. Nobody understands why did he do it. But then somebody who reads Ashtadhyayi and understands the transformation rules and all that he is providing, they have understood there is a reason why he did it. It's an obscure order as appears to us, but he has very intelligently combined these consonants in some arbitrary fashion, which makes his rules very efficient actually. That is the charm of Panini's work actually. So the other thing, Panini has used plenty of mnemonics. So look at here, the very I-un is a mnemonic, because it is combining A, I, U and In and create some crisp something, right? So I-un is a mnemonic, Kapai is a mnemonic, Jabagadadash is a mnemonic and things of that kind. And you can do many kinds of mnemonics now. If you say Ach, what it really means is you start from here and look where Ich is, so you take all of them in between. That is the formula he uses. If you say Ach, that means start from A and go on and see where the Ich is there. So all the letters in between would be an ordered set. This is his methodology. Suppose you say Hal. People may be confused. There is one Hal here. There is one Hal starting from here to here. This entire thing. So Panini has also clarified when to use what and so on. Whenever he says Hal, it means this entire set. This special Hal, he talks about it differently and people need to understand that. So Hal means the entire set of consonants. So that is a mnemonic he is using. Then suppose he says Kai. He will use all that in his 3983 rules. In several places he will use. If you say Kai, then what should we do? We should look at where Ka is and keep on taking all up to where E is. So the ordered set is ka pa cha ta ta ka pa. That is what this ordered set is. So instead of saying all these, he simply has given a syntax saying kai. Moment you say kai, you should understand what to do. This actually represents the column 1 and 2. If you write ka, kha, ga, gha, nga, cha, cha, ja, ja, nya, etc. Then what is this list? This list is column 1 and 2. That's what it is. The kavarga, chavarga, tavarga and pavarga. That is the first 2 columns. He very compactly says kai. This kind of data structures and representations throughout he uses in his entire Paninian framework that he has. Then you have what is called jash. Jash, if you say, that means it starts from here. Ja is here. Ish is here. So he is talking about ja, ba, ga, da, da, which is nothing but the third column in each of the varga. Cha, cha, ja, pa, pa, ba, ka, ka, ga, ta, ta, da, ta, ta, da. So this is the third column. Instead of saying third column, you will simply say jash. That's the third column of the consonants. So these are some nice, very thought about data structures, data representation and things of that kind through rich use of mnemonics. Now let us see how he uses. We will take one of his sutra and try to understand. Here is a sutra which says Iko Enachi. So there is a mnemonic Ik, there is another mnemonic En, there is a third mnemonic Ach. These 3 are there actually. Basically what he is saying is, if Ik is followed by Ach, then simply replace Ik by En. I mean, it looks quite complicated for us. We make no sense of it, but then the charm of it is, if you know how he uses mnemonics, then he represents a very complex idea so beautifully with Iko Enachi. So let us first see what are all the things that he is saying. First he said Ik. In our Maheshwara Sutra, Ik means it starts from E and goes up to Ik. That means that set is E, U, this you have to ignore. R and R, this Ik also we have to ignore. So that is what this set is. Ach, we already know Ach is the entire set of vowels which we already saw earlier. So A, E, U, R, R, E, O, I, O. That is what it is. Okay. Then there is something called En. So En is Hayavarat Lan. In the Maheshwara Sutra, the 5th Sutra is Hayavarat, 6th Sutra is Lan. So En means you have to start from here and go up to this, which is Ya, Va, Ra. You have to ignore this. Terminal consonants are not required. So what you have is En means Ya, Va, Ra and La. So now he is saying a set A which has E, U, R and R. There is another set B which consists all the vowels, and the third set C which contains only Ya, Va, Ra and La. Now what you find is set A and C has the same set of numbers, same number of entries. So he has already said the rule, mega rule there also. Whenever there is the same set, you have to imply corresponding, which means if you have to replace E with something in this set, if you have to replace U, you have to replace it with Va. If you have to replace R with R, Ir. If you have to replace R, it is with Il. So all this he is saying in that simple sutra, because you know all these mnemonics, how he constructs mnemonics, it actually becomes, what appears complex becomes a very simple idea. So let us actually see now what is this Iko Enachi. So let us say we are taking 2 words, Prati and Ekam, and we want to Sandhi, put them together. Now what happens, let us see. Prati is nothing but Prat plus E. The last ending letter there is E. The first letter in the next sentence is A. Now what happens? Iko Enachi. This is part of Ik. We already saw it. This fellow is part of Ik. E is part of Ik anyway. A is part of Ach. It is a set of vowels only. So the rule will apply. If Ik is followed by Ach, replace Ik with En. Now as I told you, there is a 1-to-1 correspondence. So E has to be replaced with A. So what he is saying is that Prat, remove the E. Instead of that, we include A and then put them together. So prat plus E plus A plus kam pratyekam. I mean, this looks very complicated. I am only explaining to you step by step, but understand the efficacy of that simple word yiko enachi. If you know what is yik, if you know what is yen, if you know what is ach, then you can put all of them together and then do a very complex operation without too many vocabulary, too many words, all that can be done. That's how he uses mnemonics in a very rich way. We should really try to understand what is the power of mnemonics by actually reading Ashtadhyayi. So therefore, mnemonics is a very rich, very unique data representation to give a whole lot of instructions in many different ways. Panini uses beautiful mnemonics very intelligently put together and then constructs these rules, and if we know it, we can very simply do that operation, remember it very easily and so on. That is the charm of this aspect of the computational element of Panini. In the next, we will see some other aspect of the computational element.